Did you
What's up?
You clicked the fake go live button before.
Hey.
Hey guys. Hello. Hi.
What's cracking?
Hey. Hello there. Hi. Hi.
Welcome to the most dependable Longbox Guys podcast. It's a live stream. I saw Kathy and Matt already in the chat. That's where it's at.
I'm about to say, you're rhyming over there, you know.
I got them bars, man.
Have to drop a beat for you.
These beats are fresh.
Snap.
All right. So, hey, Matt and Kathy, thanks for joining us tonight. Clearly, we were just waiting for the people who don't take this as seriously to show up.
Yeah, you should have seen it before the show. I was like,
yeah.
You see me smiling? You see me smiling here?
No, it's all serious. Pro. You're a pro. And then there's Pat and Jason.
God, you guys are so fucking late. Jeez. I mean, we're trying to run a tight ship around here.
I would have sworn you'd still be eating dinner. So
he's got you on that one.
they pay for this access, and I
that's true. That this is behind the scenes. What's up, Heinz?
Nice haircut. Nice haircut, Jason.
Oh, thank you.
I was trying to decide if it was cut or if you just like
greased it back at the.
No, it's mostly
grease is the word.
Yeah,
it's the word that you heard.
All right, I'm gonna pull up a Longbox Crusade script for this here episode. Something.
Me too.
Man,
Lord knows I've been mixed up all day. Advertised for the wrong show. Just falling apart over here is what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
I
got one job. That's to do everything.
And I dropped it. I dropped the ball. But hey, we got it all squared away. We got Matt and Kathy and Heinz here. So it's a show. It's a show.
It's a show.
Hey, found the script.
Not Professor Frenzy, but it's a show still. It's a show.
It's a show.
Professor Frenzy, it's a show.
It's a show.
Professor Frenzy show. It's so catchy.
Professor Frenzy knows how to market.
He does. It
Check it out, Pat. Check it out. I have got you covered tonight, buddy. Booyah!
Hold on. I'm not there yet. Yeah. I'm pulling up the script. Oh, you got it?
Who hosts this show?
You?
No.
You?
No.
You already guessed him. You guessed Jason this time.
You?
Me?
Damn it, Pat.
Cool. You got cool. Do you get that? I guess we didn't do the ads though. I'll have to figure.
Oh,
when we get there.
The ads are in the share.
Yeah, we can pull them up.
I don't look at the ads. Let me look at the ads and see what I got.
You want me to add them so that we can show them to the viewing audience? I can work on that.
You can work on that if you don't mind working on that in between.
I'll do that.
You're so dependable, Jarrod.
Now, all they are, okay, viewing audience, when I look in the share folder, there's just a series of, just says images with numbers, and I'm going to bring them in to share with you. If this ends up being Pat's boudoir photo, don't blame me.
It's me and Long John's.
Ooh.
Oh, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Everybody wants some. Everybody wants some.
I want some too.
Need some. Otherwise, I can just show them on the screen.
You can start show whenever you like. I'm just downloading the ads.
Okay, let's do this. Hello, everyone in the chat. Let's see who we got here. We got StreamYard. We got AU Kathy. We got Matt. We got Heinz. We got Matt. And we got, okay, cool. Ooh, Steve Cronin's here. Hola. Hey, Steve. You're going to be at Heroes Con? That's always when we get to see the fighting is at Heroes Con.
I hate that I'm not going to be at Heroes Con.
Me too.
Paul Hicks hit me up. He's like, dude, me and my wife's gonna be here, and I'm like, I'm not, and he's like, what the hell? I'm like, my bad, dude. Sorry. I was like, the Allberg brothers are gonna be here, and he's like, I'm gonna stay home.
Yeah, I noticed he hit you up, and then he hit up Pat on the Patreon page. Notice who he didn't hit up. That's all right. I've already made some phone calls to immigration. Seems like Mr. Hicks is going to have a real hard time getting in the country.
Your license has been revoked.
So, yeah.
It would be funny if you made the whole effort. He flew into Charlotte, 38-hour flight, however long it was. And immigration meets him, and it's like, what are you talking about? I made a mistake, and then he just sees you in the corner, just like.
So I'm looking at him through like the big plexiglass divider, just like clinkety clinkety.
Oh, Brad!
It's all right. It's all right.
Oh, that would be funny. That definitely would be funny.
All right, Pat.
I think we're all set.
I've downloaded them all. Now I'll upload them to StreamYard.
Oh,
good, because I had to pick one.
It's funny because peek behind the scenes, all the access. We were supposed to record this one
months ago.
Yeah, a couple months ago.
A couple months ago. Yeah.
And Pat dropped the ball, so we had to move it over here.
Yeah, drop my balls on this.
And then I had an ad.
Whoa. Hey.
And now I look at all the ads. Okay, it wasn't that one. It probably was this Master System one.
Ooh,
nope, I found it. That was the one.
Oh yeah, Captain Power.
I think I was going to talk about Captain Power.
I was about to sneak and look at the song, so you know what? I'm not going to do it. I'll wait till we get there.
You know it's going to be some good ones though. When it's
heck yeah, it's late '80s.
This year.
Let's talk about comics that are not that good.
Hey, how did that one get? Oh.
Hey, looky there.
That's not what we're covering.
No, I'm just
haters gonna hate.
I'm taking this opportunity to delete stuff, so you may see some stuff pop up.
Okay.
Actually, I can delete it without bringing it up. We don't need all those pictures from the last episode of New Warriors. All these other pictures I'm deleting are available at chocolatefountain.com.
Chocolate fountain.
All right. I'm going on mute.
Pull
all right. As will I.
Dip it.
We're cool. I'll go on mute.
Swear
I'll eat my food.
Jason was actually right about Delvin eating the food.
It's true.
All right, we can get started.
Shrimp and rice. And radishes. Blue apron meal. Delicious. Tip.
You say some of that shrimp?
Shrimp.
I mean, if I saved the shrimp for y'all like next week, it'd be really, really gross. Like you said.
They'll still eat it.
I would just leave a bag of frozen. I'm going on mute.
All right, we'll get started here. Okay. So we'll go ahead and do this. People in the chat, thank you for joining us. If you want to voice your stuff, you can while we're going along here. This is going to be an old school long box. Woohoo! Old school long box. We go. Oh, yeah. All right, here we go. We're going to go live in 3, 2. You're listening to the Longbox Crusade podcast, episode 47, featuring Blue Beetle, number 22, cover date, March 1988. Ooh, 88. That's going to be a good year. All right, here we go. Hello and welcome to the 46th episode of the Longbox Crusade. I'm your host, Pat, a.k.a. DJ Chris Statos. The Longbox Crusade is a podcast where each episode, a random cover month and year is chosen, and then an issue is selected from one of the Longbox Crusade crew members' comic collection. Each episode, we will summarize, review, and reminisce about the issue, ads, and events of that time period. Joining me for this episode is Jarrod Albrick, a.k.a. the Yard Sale Artist. Woo!
Woo! Don't you worry, Pat. I also struggle with punctuation. So here we are. We're back to the long box. I'm supposed to say my crusade, aren't I?
Yeah, I forgot to mention that, but I was going to.
I was like, wait, we're supposed to do something. Crusade in 10 words or less.
Yes.
Survive until Heroes Con. That's it. Survive.
I've survived, yep.
I'm solo dad.
Oh, so you're solo dadding it all by yourself.
Yes.
That can be.
And I'm going to exceed the 10 words. Just let everybody know that my wife took my older son to Puerto Rico.
Oh.
And then she's like, oh, by the way, while I'm gone, I signed up the younger son for a kids camp that you got to drop him off at Balls 30 in the morning and pick him up midday. So you won't get anything done while I'm gone. So
I was in the Air Force with Jarrod. Balls 30 is pretty early.
It's early. And I probably shouldn't have put this on the recording because it's probably going to come up at my trial.
Possibly. We could kind of maybe scrub and erase all this later on down the road, or maybe put somebody else's name in this.
And while just somebody we don't even know.
Yeah.
Well, Enrique is in Puerto Rico.
Yes, we can probably do that. It's all, it's all in the magic of editing. So no worries there. No worries there at all. Well, let's go ahead and go to Jason, the Weasel Skull. Jason, how are you doing? And what's your Crusade 10 words or less?
Oh, I'm doing just fine, Pat. Much like my brother, I am getting ready for Heroes Con. Gonna bust Milgram's balls bad.
You didn't have to use all 10 words.
I had one left, so I figured that.
Good for you. At least, you got them. Might as well use them.
$10 owl. Here I'm coming. I'm coming for you, $10 owl.
Trying to get them for $5 now. See if you can get them down to $5 or for free.
I was going to go up to him and say, can I borrow $10? I know you got it.
Oh yeah. Jason and Heroes Con. Always a good story that something comes up with Jason at a Heroes Con. So I'll
keep you posted.
Yeah, we're gonna need some Jason updates, and I'll get the scanner going for that area just in case there's any rumblings or stuff going on there.
I'm gonna make friends with him in all reality, and I'm gonna get a picture. That's my goal. I'm gonna see if he'll take a selfie with me.
That's probably fun.
Kathy, being our Photoshop person, is gonna put it on the $10 bill. $10 Jason, a $10 owl.
That's at least $15 worth of personality right here.
Which one?
Oh, I'm giving Al the $10. He's got the 10.
Well, I can't wait to see those photos and what becomes of Heroes Con. So I'm looking forward to those stories. We'll go on now to Delvin, the Dark Web Williams. Delvin, how are you? And what's your Crusade 10 words or less?
I'm doing good, Pat. Thank you for asking. And let's see, 10 words or less. Giving my friend his first salute in Texas.
Oh, that sounds interesting and fun.
Do you know what a first salute is, Pat?
I don't know. I'm assuming you're going to salute him for the first time.
I mean, yes. I mean, you do have that part nailed. Now, a little bit more context. When someone is becoming an airman into the Air Force, my friend Jake is going through basic training. And he can pick who is going to be the first person that he salutes as one of the Air Force's newest enlisted people. And he asked me weeks ago, would I go and do it? So I said, yes, I would. So I will be doing that next week.
Oh, it sounds like a great honor. Does that mean you wear your dress up stuff or too?
Yep.
Thank God.
The reason why Jarrod's saying thank God is because I'll be in my service dress, which is like the jacket with the ribbons on it and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And like, even though I've heard people tell me to the contrary, like the way that I was brought up in the Air Force is that when you're in uniform, you have to be clean shaven. So I will shave my beard. And that's why Jarrod said thank
no.
God.
You will? You will?
Mhm.
Okay.
I will.
The great part about this is we're about to see the reemergence of 27-year-old.
I was going to say, so
Baby Web's coming back. Baby Web is coming back.
Babyface is coming back.
goodness.
So are you going to be the youngest airman there then?
Quite possibly. No. There'll be some 18, 19, and 20-year-olds. So like even with the beard shaved, I don't think anybody will confuse me for being the youngest airman.
Well, it sounds like a great time and a fun reason to shave. A great.
I'll tell you what, it's on solidarity. While he shaves, I'll grow mine out.
Oh,
I'll grow mine out while Delvin shaves his down.
I appreciate that, Jarrod. You know, solidarity.
Both those whiskers are going to grow. At least a 1/4 inch.
Shaggy from Scooby-Doo all day.
All right, sorry about that. All right, well, with the Crusades out of the way, we want to invite everyone to be a part of the show by submitting your comments and memories, which
Pat,
we will.
Pat, hold on. Did you give your crusade?
Oh, I did not. I didn't think I had to since I was the host.
You maybe could have gotten away with it. I do it all the time on Transformers Chronicles. I ask all y'all, then I just go ahead with the boilerplate, but I caught you. So 10 words or less, Pat. What's your crusade? Go.
Getting ready for family vacation. That is my crusade.
We have gotten a lot better at this.
Yeah, we have. It's like we're professionals
were an
now.
Absolute nightmare on this last year. We've gotten a ton better. I'm proud of us.
Pat chose his family over Heroes Con. He chose his family over Heroes Con.
Hey, you got to do what you got to do. It has been a while since we've all been on the vacation, so it's going to be.
Where are you going?
Time. Tennessee.
Oh,
Tennessee.
you're the only
Tennessee.
Yeah, going there for a big family.
Take me to another.
Take me to another.
We got Jason Lost on this one, but we're picking up his slack.
Tennessee.
Hey, Jarrod and Pat, I challenge you to a game of horseshoe. A game of
horseshoes.
Jason, we'll send you the song later.
Oh, it's a good song. Even Mr. Wendell likes it.
I get it.
All right.
We really are old school long boxes. We are so far off now. I tell you what, folks. Matt mentioned going back and listen to old long boxes, and I did notice, Pat, that I think Apple Podcasts is like dropping the old ones. I think it only goes back to like 30s or 20s now.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And if you go back and listen to those, man, we will tangent for like 30 minutes. It's crazy. You think this is bad?
You should have saw us a long time ago. Yeah.
This is us with our stuff together.
Yeah. If you really want to go back and listen and you can't find them on an Apple Podcast or anywhere, just go out to www.longboxcrusade.com, and there you can listen to all the episodes all the way back to the first episode of the Longbox Crusade. And just to put a little plug in there, by the time this comes out, will have passed the 8th year anniversary. June 7th will be 8 years of this podcast. The first episode went live on June 7th.
That's day after tomorrow.
It is.
What? It's
Can you
our
believe
anniversary.
Our anniversary. My anniversary. Happy birthday. Longbox Crusade.
You know, speaking of tangents, we have medical advice happening in the chat because I know our friend Kathleen had some emergency surgery yesterday.
Yeah.
Get well soon, Kathleen.
Yes.
And Matt Passo, I believe, is an RN, and she's asking medical. This is the greatest chat in the world, man.
Yep. We have
$1 a month. You too could get medical advice.
We have our on team RN Matt. He's our working.
It's our on staff
For well health. Yep.
On call nurse.
Man, I'm glad that we stopped our tangents.
They're in the chat now. I can't not see
I know.
them.
I guess they figure if they can't beat us, join us on the tangent train.
This is like you have two worlds going on, but they're both fun on either side. So you can get in on the either side of the house here.
Let's take a quick pause here, Pat. And for Jason, he sounded a little far away. Let's make sure his mic is squared away. Give us the scratch to the mic. Come off mute and give us
a check. Mic check.
I'd hate for him to go through the whole show and then. Yeah, it's not it. Check your settings in StreamYard. Make sure you got your Yeti.
Would you really hate him to not be able to hear him?
Don't be like that.
No, I just kidding.
Oh,
I mean, it sounds okay. It's just a little far away. That's all.
Microphone array.
Hey, Jim Meals in the chat.
Hey, we got Jim. I saw Auburn Elvis in there as well too. So,
what's mine supposed
no
to
fever.
It should say if you go into StreamYard settings and you check your audios, one of them should say Yeti.
It doesn't have it on there now.
Maybe is the red light on?
Yep. I've just dropped it.
Maybe an unplug and replug is all you need. All the access, ladies and gentlemen.
If you can do it from the base of it, Jason.
Okay. Oh, I know. I bet I know why. Because it's because I was doing cleaning the audio, and for whatever reason, it changes.
The headset.
Yeah. Hold on. I'll see. I think it's messing up my speakers too. I'm gonna hold on.
Nope. Okay. While Jason's doing that, Jason, you go ahead and put him on mute or something. I'll just get this done up to the promo.
Okay,
then.
I'll take care of that. Jason, you do you. You keep doing you, and I'll take care of putting you in. Oh, he's got it.
Okay. So I'll finish it up here. All right. We would like to invite you to be part of the show by submitting your comments and memories, which will be featured on a featured show on a future show. Reach out to us on Facebook, Instagram, X, formerly known as Twitter, and YouTube, all at Longbox Crusade. And you can always leave us a voicemail at 707-532-5269. That number again is 707-532.
Let me try it. Pick up the phone. How does it sound?
I think pretty good. Give the scratch says. I think that's it. Yeah.
All right. Let me do that again.
Well, hold on, wait. I mean, we can't let the moment pass that Jason fixed the technical issue.
Woo! 8 years in the making.
You gotta learn something in 8 years, right?
Jason knows his tech stuff now.
He didn't lose his temper. He didn't curse. He just went on mute and went to.
Listen, nobody likes to show off. I feel like you're attacking me.
I am so proud of you, Jason.
Thank you, Delvin. I was pretty proud of my behavior myself.
You're welcome.
And hey, bot boy, welcome back. Anyway, Pat, what were you saying?
I think it was. Anyway, let me redo that, and then Jason can come in with the thing again. So that number again is 707-532-LBOX.
Pick up the phone.
Jason is standing by with a working microphone. We hope you come along to join us on the crusade to read them all. Now, before we get started with this episode issue, we will take a quick podcast promo break, and we will be right back.
Remember the old, like, you sell stuff for the Captain Olympics prizes or whatever, and it always had, like, Linda is standing by. It's Jason now. Jason.
We should get someone to take like Jason's head with the headphone on it like that.
Get with
Jason's
Kathy.
standing
Get
by.
it done.
Get it done.
Let her recover.
Yeah, she can recover by making stuff.
You know, she's just gonna be
Keep
laying
her mind off of
around.
it,
She
yeah.
could be doing photos.
Or editing.
I told her that when
Yeah,
she
I
told
saw
me she
that
was
on
going to the ER. Did you see that?
I did see it when I was scrolling through it today. Yeah.
On X, she was like, "I'm headed to the ER." I'm like, "Grab your laptop."
Poor Kathy. Hope you're feeling better, Kathy. We do.
We are the worst. I hope you're better.
We hope you pull through. We know you will because you're the MVP. I don't know. Okay. All right. If you guys are ready. We can move on and go on to the next thing here. So anybody, Delvin, you want to be a chat checker again? The huge?
Yeah.
Okay. Got the huge going on. So, all right. We'll get started. Here we go. Welcome back from the break. Today's adventure from the Longbox is Blue Beetle number 22 with a cover date of March 1988. The credits for this issue are provided by Mike's Amazing World. Go and check it out. The publisher was DC. It's got a cover date of March 1988. Its on sale date was November 17th of 1987. Cover price is $1. The editor is Dennis J. O'Neill. Writer is Len Wein. Penciler is Ross Andrew. Penciler is Gil Kane. And inker is Daniel Bulanadi. I said that right, didn't I?
Nailed it.
I know.
Freaking nailed it. I'm proud of you, Pat.
I'm proud of you being proud of
I'm
me.
feeling some serious pressure.
Oh, man. I know. I'm practicing that all day. The letterer is John Costanza. Colorist goes to Eugene D'Angelo.
Brown sugar, babe.
I was waiting for that. I knew that was coming. Reprinted. This is reprinted in Showcase Presents Blue Beetle trade paperback, and I believe someone's fancy enough to already have that in their hands right now. I wonder who that would be. Who do I know who's fancy?
You know what though? Also cheap. See that sticker?
Yeah.
Ollie's $3.99. $4 for the whole dang thing. That's cheaper than a comic now.
Yeah, you can't shake a stick at that at all. And if I believe right, this was one of the things that I believe Jarrod was giving one of these away at one time, long time ago. And it was like, oh man, I want to get one of these. And it's a little bit how I started kind of following Jarrod around too, as well too, trying to get some free stuff from him. So I just asked him on the show, and then finally I got some free stuff. 8 years later, you know.
The opportunity, the opportunity cost in that is that he never left.
Yeah, 8 years later, and yeah. Anyway, no, we wouldn't have what we have right now, and all the people and all the fun without Jarrod and Delvin and Jason and everybody that is here with us. So a big thank you to everybody for having us, listening to us for 8 years. But with that, let's go ahead and continue on talking more about this. So let's talk about the cover credits. The penciler for this was Chris Wozniak. Inker is Keith Stan Wilson. Did the inks on it. And speaking about the cover, Jarrod, give us a cover description.
Pat just nailed Wozniak as well.
He nailed all of it. There were like zero stumbles
I have
at all.
Mental images now of Pat like 4 or 5 days ago, like he's in the shower and he's just like
Wozniak.
Bulanadi.
In the background, his palms are sweaty, knees weak, arms are heavy.
Wozniak, I'm a shit.
Mom spaghetti. Oh my goodness.
I get that reference.
There we go. I'm proud of you for getting that reference, Jason.
Yay! It's all coming together. All right, let's do this whole cover thing. bear with me because I wrote this months ago, so I'm going to stumble and bumble through this one. The gloriously classic DC Bullet logo is blue with white accents. The Blue Beetle title font is white with orange highlights. The main action depicts a very smug Kronos. Is he smug because of his keen fashion sense and costume design choices? Clearly not. But he is smug because he is watching the Blue Beetle, or rather his bug ship, battle with pterodactyls via his large screen time portal technology setup. The cover blurb reads, "A million years in the past, the Beetle fights for his life, and Kronos finds it quite amusing." Kronos, I think, made his costume out of leftover wrappers of fruit stripe gum.
Hey, don't hate on him, man. Everybody knows those horizontal stripes are slimming.
Oh, vertical. You want vertical?
Oh, that's right. The vertical stripes.
Yeah, that is a very interesting outfit for
There's
Kronos.
a lot of choices being made.
Yes. And when you look at this issue too, he wears it, and he wears it proudly in some of those stands as well too. So we'll get into that once we get into the interior of this issue. But before we do, let's go ahead and get some cover thoughts about this cover, and we'll start with Jason.
You know, it's not exactly a remarkable cover, except that when I saw it, I just felt fun. Like, I'm going to open this book and it's going to be fun. And we can laugh at Kronos's Billy get up, but sometimes I really miss those days where you had the garish villain. I think, you know, the only thing he's missing in this image is like he should be kicked back with like a cup of coffee, just that smug look on his face as he got all those pterodactyls attacking Beetle's ship. So, I mean, it does the job. It gives you the villain. It kind of lets you know that Beetle is somewhere lost in time and being attacked by dinosaurs. And again, I had no idea other than that what I could expect in this book, but I just knew it was going to be fun. And there's something to be said about that.
Yeah, that's a good point, Jason. I think I felt the same way too when I pulled this to be my choice for this episode. I was like, you know what? We haven't done an old Blue Beetle. Let's do this. And it was a really fun looking cover. And I was kind of intrigued about the guy's pants wear. So I wanted to know a little bit more about Kronos.
If he's hiding out with zebras, he's in good shape from the bottom down.
Delvin, what's your thoughts on the cover?
Got a couple of comments. Auburn Elvis mentions that Kronos looks like Dollar General Kang, which is hilarious. Matt Possel says he never read Blue Beetle and doesn't read much DC now, but the cover is why he really loved DC in the 80s and 90s. I don't have anything wrong. Well, you know what? The main thing I have wrong with the cover is like that's Blue Beetle's logo. It's so plain. Like, I don't know. You'd think they would incorporate the beetle or something, or some scarab writing or something. Just like even the one on the showcase is a little bit more dynamic than the one that's on the cover. It's just this is like Blue Beetle. It's like, really? You're not. It doesn't seem like they're proud of it. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. And I cannot let this cover go by without saying that if Cam Newton wore Kronos' outfit, I would passionately defend it. He's the best quarterback Auburn ever had. Shut up.
Has anybody ever seen like a Kronos cosplayer or somebody? I would like to see that. I think that would be cool to see.
I think I saw a homeless dude once that maybe was.
I think that would be kind of a cool. I would get it and go, oh my! Ooh, I'd be like, ooh, I love that.
I like that he thought, you know, what's going to pull this together is the cape. You know,
gonna really tie it all.
Oh, we're gonna have some fun with this one. Oh. Jarrod, what is your thoughts on the cover?
God bless the anchor, because look at all that tech. That's That's a lot of ruler work.
Yes, there is.
I do agree with Jason though. There's just this, and Thought Boy came a little later in the chat and mentioned that this cover reminds him of the Super Friends. Yes, this era, this 80s era. Just wait till we get to way back in time in our memories and stuff, but it had that fun factor. This is post-crisis, launching a bunch of new titles, and just look at it. It's like you look at this and you go, this cannot be taken seriously. I cannot wait to read it. Those are the feelings you have. My only complaint about it artistically is I'm not big on the colorist choices for the pterodactyls. I don't even really notice them. Like, until I had to write the cover description, I was like, what is going? Oh, pterodactyls. So
Yeah.
they blend a little too well. Maybe something brighter. I noticed the colorist did a great job on the bug is shooting a laser, which is creating a light effect on its face.
Mhm.
It would have been great if that could have carried maybe over to the pterodactyls to give them a little more dynamic something. They just, again, I've had this comic since it was on the spinner rack in 1987, and I don't know that I realized it was pterodactyls until I wrote the cover description.
You just thought there was some kind of a flying
I was
monster.
like, oh, he's flying, he's shooting something. Let me open it up. I didn't.
Maybe
take
it's
the time.
Sauron or something.
Yeah, it's a Sauron. No.
Didn't have a 45 strapped to his leg.
Oh no, they made it back to the what land is that again?
Look at all the switches on that
Savage Land.
control board.
Yeah.
That inker was like,
Yeah, and they're colored too.
I'm telling you right now, I've been that guy. I had to ink Cold Lightning 1, 2, and 3. A lot of tech in those books.
And they were like, we're gonna make a line in every space. This is not gonna have any.
And you know the pencil just did this little flip. Oh, these are a bunch of buttons. Make it look good, inker. Like, oh.
Oh man, and you could tell this is the later 80s because look at that's a big tube TV. That ain't just no flat screen TV. That
a
you
ton,
could,
not, and that's not like hyperbole. It weighs 2,000.
it's probably yeah. Oh man, such a
I'd
it
go
is-
into the future and get a flat screen if
Yeah.
I was him. It's a lot.
Yeah, he's Kronos. Why can't he do that? Why can't he go forward?
Because
Or
he
can he
probably
only go
looked at
back?
the TV and it's like, it's never getting any better than this.
Mm,
Yeah.
true.
Kronos can look into the future, and so can I. Where'd you get these? Where'd you get these story descriptions from?
Don't worry about it. I got it.
It's like 4 paragraphs worth of stuff.
No, no.
All right.
There's reason.
He's got
There-
2 versions.
I got 2 versions.
All
Yeah.
right.
All
All
right.
right. I won't. You do you.
Yeah,
I got 2 versions.
Yeah, I don't know. This is gonna be 2 minutes. I am timing you.
Timing you.
All right, I'll read it past when we get there. Jeez, you guys, relax. All right. Here we go. All right. Well, with the cover description and our thoughts out of the way, since this is a long box, we can just go right into the story synopsis on this one. And with that, let's go ahead and get in. What happened?
I popped up a 30-second timer
Oh,
just to see what would happen.
all right. Let me say that again.
Oh, I thought it was me. I was like, what did I do now?
I thought it was gonna be like a little 30-second timer in the corner. We would all laugh, but it came up way bigger than I thought. Back to you, Pat.
Yes, this is how the sausage is made. Jackassery in the background
And the foreground.
and the foreground. Yeah. All right, here we go. I think I got enough to cut that out too before that kicks in. So, all right, here we go. Let's see if I can do this. There may be some words that I
Why
screw
would
up
you
in
cut
this
that
one.
out?
Huh?
Why would you cut that out?
Cut what out?
Gold.
Oh, well, it'll be outtakes. Yeah, of course, outtakes. That's what we're all about is the outtakes.
This show is made up of 90% out.
Yes, 90% outtakes,
That's almost half.
5%, junk, and the other 5% is just singing.
Shut that ice up.
So that. All right, here we go. Let's get to it. In a comically dire situation, Blue Beetle finds himself trapped amidst the wreckage of his bug with a Tyrannosaurus Rex looming ominously nearby, prompting a classic case of superhero panic. This absurd predicament follows a meeting at the JLI HQ where the team earnestly discusses the aftermath of the Millennium Affair. Only for Blue Beetle, it ended up in a prehistoric mess. Returning to Chicago, he encounters more turbulence than expected, including a wall of light that seems to have taken no entry signs way too seriously. After a crash landing that would make even the most seasoned pilot blush, Blue Beetle discovers an automated mining complex. Because, of course, that's where you'd find yourself after a casual fight in your bug. Meanwhile, in a chateau resembling a rejected set from a cheesy spy movie, Deacon Drac, I think that's his name. What did you guys, just so I'm saying it right? Drex. I'll say it like that. Deacon Drex and his crew of wannabe Bond villains debate activating Agent Ajax, while Cornelius channels his inner doomsday prophet and with the subtlety of a bull in a china shop. Inside the complex, Kronos manages to unleash mayhem, including a scene straight out of a B movie where he loses control of the pterodactyls. Because why not? Ultimately, Blue Beetle finds himself trapped in an hourglass, facing off against Kronos, who seems to have watched too many Bond flicks himself. In a showdown that could only be described as timelessly ridiculous, Blue Beetle narrowly escapes, leaving Kronos stranded in prehistoric times, pondering where it all went wrong and why didn't he just stick to his regular 9-to-5 job like everyone else.
It's Chat GPT, wasn't it?
It was.
I am not worried about Skynet. I mean, I was worried when all this first started. I am no longer worried.
Hey, I thought it turned out pretty good. Pretty good. I got to get it. I got to do a little tweaking on it, but you know what?
I'll be honest, I don't even know how to use Chat GPT. So, I mean, kudos to you.
I've never used it either. Did you actually add Bond in the prompt? Or
No, it did it.
It did all on its own.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It was cool.
There's definitely a Bond moment in it, but we'll get to it.
Yeah, there is, definitely. All right, here we go. All right, with the synopsis out of the way, let's get to a story review, and let's find out what you guys thought about the story. Jarrod, you go first.
All right, I will leave the James Bond reference for my brother, or maybe Delvin, whoever. I don't know who's next, but I don't want to take it all, even though we don't do rounds, so I could.
Didn't you almost have it all?
But it's funny. I get it. Here's the big thing I want to talk about, and I'll leave everything else to everybody else. When I read this book, which brought back wonderful memories of the 80s, by the end of it, I came to a big realization. The world would be a better place if Blue Beetle did nothing and let Kronos execute his plan. He's not hurting anyone. He was going to mine this metal that was going to get him rich, but it was also going to benefit humanity because it's like a non-corrosive, like very rare, right? And then Kronos himself said, I'm going to do this. I'm going to hit it rich, and I'm never going to supervillain again.
Yeah.
No one would be hurt. He'd be out of the supervillain game, and humanity would be better off with this rare mineral if he just left him alone.
So what you're saying here is that Blue Beetle just really had an affectation for that outfit.
Yeah, he was like, "Oh, I hate you, and I hate your outfit." I finished reading it, and that's all I could think of. I was like, "Now wait a minute, he didn't hurt anybody. He wasn't gonna hurt anybody. He will keep hurting people if he stays in the supervillain game. But he
True.
already said, I pull this off, I'm out of the game because I'm rich. And the world has a better technology that it missed out on because of the huge time gap. There's no downside to letting Kronos complete.
He's a bad guy, Jarrod. You good guys stop the bad guys. Don't you gussy it up with your moral dilemmas.
I'm just saying. That I couldn't wait to talk about it. That's the thing I wanted to talk. I don't know if anybody else noticed that. Delvin's looks deep in thought. Jason's we got a view of his hand and mouse, which is cool. And there he is. I don't know if anybody else thought that, but that's it. I'll leave. Go on.
Yeah, I did like that he was saying, like, when Beetle said, hey, where are all the people that you just kind of blipped away or whatever? Is, oh, don't worry, they're somewhere else, and I'm just going to bring them right back. They won't even know what happened to them.
They're still where they're supposed to be. No one is getting hurt.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Yeah.
Because all he is went back to the past because he's like, oh, there's this rare mineral. Never mind. I said it. I'm going to be quiet.
That's a good way of looking at that, I think. You got a good point there. We'll go to Delvin. What's your thoughts on the story?
So when I saw the creative team, I got happy. I'm like, Ross Andrew and Lynn Wein. Okay, cool. And maybe it was that line of thinking that I was like, this felt like a story that they could have done maybe, I don't know, 15 years ago with Amazing Spider-Man. And even the editors were like, nah, this is too crazy. And so when Wayne's like, I'll show you, and just filed it away, and then like he got the Blue Beetle gig, and he's like, ha 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 ha. He pulls out the script, and nobody was like, oh, okay, it's Blue Beetle. Like,
hang on. And then, let me add to your story. He calls Ross. Hey, didn't you used to draw the war that time forgot? You did. Oh, okay. This is going to work out great.
and then since it's the 80s, you know, it's probably like, and then pterodactyls, draw pterodactyls. There's going to be a whole bunch of pterodactyls. Oh my God. So that's what I think. Like I read it. I'm like, it was wacky. It was offbeat. And I just kept like taking Blue Beetle out and putting Spider-Man in it. Now that said, the thing that I thought was probably the coolest about the story was the bug. Like the bug is cool. Like I have
that's a cool vehicle.
Yeah, I've seen it a few times, but I swear that bug is like the coolest thing that Ted Kord has. So this is Ted Kord Blue Beetle. Yes,
this is
absolutely.
Yeah, like man, and I wonder, and I know this is going into a little bit of Blue Beetle lore. It's like, why did the Beetle not like Ted Kord and give him powers like Jamie Reyes has and merge with Ted Kord? But he did give him this cool bug. Bug was cool. I liked him. I like Bug almost more than I did this Blue Beetle because, like, to me, just like Jarrod kind of mentioned, like, had Blue Beetle done absolutely nothing, then the world may have been improved. If you add to it, it's like I would almost say that based off of this, I couldn't really tell you the personality of Ted Kord from this book alone. And I'm surprised about that. Something about that just made me, what's up, Jarrod?
You're catching on to something that I can't not run my mouth about. I have the showcase. I've read them all. They're great. I have the showcase. I've read them all of Booster Gold. They're great. They're both very flat when you compare it to when they get together in JLI. Yeah. It's bizarre. It's bizarre. You picked it up in one issue. They're almost all like this. They're kind of fun. Ted Kord's kind of cool. He does not sparkle until he's with Booster. And same for Booster. He's fun and it's cool adventures and stuff. But the sparkle happens when they're together. And you picked up on the cool Beetle, the bug, which is once again JLI. That's their mode of transportation. They knew what they had. But it's weird that they have to have it together.
Yeah, I got you.
I just wanted to say you're absolutely picking up on a vibe. I don't know if the listeners can tell, but I'm a big fan. I'm going to back on you.
Go to Jason.
Okay. Yeah, great input there. Jarrod and Delvin, great to take on what you were seeing. I was kind of feeling the same way too about the issue when I was reading. Like, hey, where's Funny Ted? And he was trying to be a little bit jokey, but I could also see where you were putting in Spider-Man, because I think with some of the moves he was doing felt a little Spider-Man-y-ish, I guess. And I guess maybe if Beetle was kind of the equivalent, maybe a little bit for Spider-Man.
Do you know who I believe the creator of Blue Beetle is? Or at least co-creator?
Steve Ditko?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So
it's
there
all
we go.
coming together.
Yeah,
All
definitely.
coming
Definitely.
together.
All the little bits and pieces are coming together. So, yeah, it still was an interesting story from my take on it. I found it really interesting and just enjoyed the wacky a little bitness of this one. So, like Jarrod likes when things get a little bit wacky. I thought I was feeling this one. Like, I like this. It was just wacky enough for me to love it and keep reading it through. Jason, what's your thoughts on the story?
Well, continuing on the theme of fun that I started when I talked about the cover, this didn't disappoint. I mean, Jarrod's absolutely right. I didn't put that together. You know, I'm kind of embarrassed I didn't. Jarrod made a good point. Like, Blue Beetle didn't have to do anything, and the world would have been a better place for it. And Kronos literally wasn't hurting anybody. So let well enough alone, I guess. But he didn't. And maybe that's part of the, you know, a counterpoint to Delvin's statement that you don't get really to know his character. I thought there was a good character development when he has the choice, right? Do I can escape this shield that's coming over Chicago and stay safe, or I can go in and investigate and try to help people and get myself into a situation I have no idea what's going on. And he risks the latter. So that kind of tells you the kind of person that he is. Then there's a whole bunch of shenanigans with dinosaurs. I don't know if this is the moment you were talking about, Jarrod. It's like James Bond, but I definitely got a Never Say Never Again vibe with the radio transmissions on the pterodactyls.
I
Like
actually didn't think about it. That's hilarious.
But yeah, it's like a Never Say Never Again with James
Right.
Bond. There's like, you know, we could shoot James Bond in the head as he's going on the boat. We could blow up the boat. I got a better idea. Let's make a bunch of sharks mad while he's in the water and attack him. And that's kind of what happens to Blue Beetle here in this issue as well. But it's fun. It's really cool. And Kronos is kind of a fun villain, and I'm interested to know what happens to him at the end. So yeah, there's plot holes you can drive an M1 Abrams tank through here, but at the end of the day, I had a lot of fun reading it, and it was a page turner, so enjoyable.
I'll do an addendum on to what I thought was the biggest Bond moment.
Okay, I was just going to ask.
Ted says, well, why don't you just tell me your plan? He's like, I'm going to just tell you my plan. Well, yes. I guess you got to stand on ceremony. So I was like, that is a Bond moment.
A couple panels.
Do you think I'm an idiot? Do you think I'm going to just reveal my? Okay, I'm going to reveal my.
There's a certain amount of etiquette involved here. That's what I thought was very Bondy. But Jason made a great point. Like, let's make the pterodactyls mad.
Well, and plus he had that baller looking, his hideout or his headquarters that he had there too was a big sundial kind of a looking thing too.
Yeah. Kronos, man, he was doing it big.
Yeah, he's doing it, living large. If you're gonna do it well, living large.
The money he saves on fashion consultants, he's putting into layers.
Mm-hmm. 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 Yeah, definitely. Worst thing, he could have had the pterodactyls not only have the headset, controlled, but he could have also had them in tracksuits working for him. Ooh.
I feel like I'd feel really bad if, like, we learned later on in another issue that, like, Kronos had a nephew who was like 7, and he was like Make-A-Wish Foundation on his waning days, and he's like, I am gonna design you a costume, Kronos. Then I'd feel bad.
You only got to wear it till the kid's dead, though, right?
The kid's about to die, and is like, Couldn't he have come up with something better? I don't know if any of that should make the show.
But he's Cronus. Couldn't he go back in time and
You would think.
he could fix that?
Fixed point, Pat. Can't do it.
Oh, all right.
Beetle would stop him.
People stop him. Tell me your plan. Well, you see, I really don't like my costume, so this is all about trying to get a new costume change going on. Oh, all right. Well, let's move on to the story art on this one, and we'll go back around to Jarrod. What's your thoughts on the story artwork in this?
Well, man, you look at the cover, right? The cover credits Ross Andrew, and so you get excited already. Like, it's Ross Andrew. We love him from Spider-Man. I love him from The War That Time Forgot. And this is like getting the combo. That's what basically Delvin said. It's like getting the combo. Spider-Man, The War Time Forgot, right? And then you open it up and you look at the credits and they go, oh, well, Ross only did, a little over half. They have a backup penciler. And the backup penciler is Gil Maurice Feldman Kane.
Yeah.
It's Gil Kane and Ross Andrew in the same book. Look at the opening splash page. Just look at it. Look at it. Look at it. Look how good it is. And the quality of art never, ever lets up. This book is gorgeous for all its wackiness and nonsensicalness, and we're poking fun at it. It's still fun, though. I love it. We're not going to score it, but I love it.
Yeah.
And the art is top freaking notch. And, of course, as a reminder, I'm reading it in the black and whites, so you may have some things to say about the coloring. I don't know, but the black and whites is so good.
Yeah, no, definitely. I agree with you as well, too. The art in this just was a page turner and really nice to look at and did a great job of telling the story. Jason, what's your thoughts?
Just echoing everything that Jarrod said. Going back to when we started the show, I don't think I realized that Ross Andrew was such a talented artist until we started reading some of the Superman stuff, and then we found him in Spider-Man. And his artwork is on display here. And, I guess this would be considered a B book, back in the day. Jarrod would probably groan at that a little bit, but
no, it's not gloriously B book.
Yeah, it's not Batman, it's not Superman, but Ross Andrew, man, he does not take shortcuts at all. There's technology that he's got to draw, future technology that he's got to draw. There are dinosaurs and prehistoric backgrounds. There's architecture. There's about a dozen different characters, and he just does it all beautifully. There's not a page in which he took a shortcut in here that I can find anyway. Hats off just to a talented artistic team that took no shortcuts and treated this B book with an A attitude.
Definitely agree. Even the foliage that was done in this looked really nice. Like you were there in that jungly area. Delvin, what's your thoughts?
I don't think I could say anything that Jarrod and Jason didn't. It's Ross Andrew. I mean, enough said.
And then Gil Kane.
And then Gil Kane. Like, what the hell? This is Blue Beetle 22,
right?
Yeah.
This isn't Blue Beetle 1. This is 22. Like, what in the world? You have this level of talent? Let's just say this much. Either the bullpen was so freaking talented in DC back in 88 that they could just afford to put Ross Andrew and Gil Kane on just rando book X. Because you would never see that now. You just wouldn't. Like, you would see them maybe on a Blue Beetle feature that costs like $15 or something like that. But I don't know. So it kind of just speaks to the awesomeness that was the 80s in this time frame, because just to see this level of casual greatness out of this artwork is something that you should just thank the comic book gods for, because this is crazy. This is craziness. You would want your Blue Beetle isn't a forgotten character. I'd say, is Blue Beetle an A-list or DC character? I'd say maybe B to C list. And but what you would want, like if somebody out of the blue, like some up and coming creator, found his way into DC and it's like, you know what? I'm gonna take revive a character from the past, and for whatever reason he had the backing of the powers that be. You would want an art team like Ross Andrew and Gil Kane on it, and that newcomer would never get it. They wouldn't even waste the time on it. You get what I'm saying? It's incredible that you would just see this level of artwork on this book, and that's not trashing Blue Beetle. It's just saying Blue Beetle 22, you wouldn't expect to see two mega level
two cool guys. Yeah.
Two cool guys. You would expect to see two chumps.
Definitely. Oh man. And just these things are, you could probably get blue, I got the issue and you can probably get it in the cheaper bins too. Yeah.
Quarter bin. Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, oh man. Such fun to pull this gem out, I think, of the bins. So I loved it. Great artwork. But speaking about artwork, let's go to Jarrod for his segment on the Longbox Crusade episodes.
I got it, Pat. If we go to the Heroes Con and Gil Kane and Ross Andrew were there, which would be awesome. And they said, hey, guys, you can have a page of artwork from this issue. First, you have to decide whether you're going to the Ross table or the Gil table. And then you got to tell me which page you picked. I might have already spilled the beans on my selection. Look at it. It's page 1. Delvin's holding up a 1. Delvin, you're just, without a doubt, going with page 1?
Yep. Without a doubt.
Okay. All right. Jason, you going to rock the boat or are you going to get on that page 1 bandwagon? Toot, toot.
I do like page 1, but I'm going to rock the boat a little bit. I like the action sequence laid out on content page 19, where he's getting shot at by the pocket watch. He does the flip, gets the gun, and blasts the pocket watch out of his hand there. I thought that's a really good action scene with Blue Beetle, so I would take that one.
I think that's a Gil Kane page. I think you're,
I might be on Gil Kane. The other one, the runner-up was number 15, just a big old baller picture of my man, Kronos.
Kronos standing there? Oh,
like he's leaning on the panels of the page.
Yeah, that's a baller one too. Just like, let me tell you my story.
He's like leaning on his own story.
He's leaning on his story. He's wearing those Freddie Reddy's proud. He's got the prison stripe pants. He's got the pose just set up. I love it.
Yeah, like I said, my man, he's sitting there going, I can pull this off. You can't pull this off, but I can.
I do like the clock hands on his forehead, but Pat, you're the only one that didn't pick a page.
Oh, well, gee, I like the baller one where he's standing there, but if I wanted to go with a cool Beetle one, I think I would choose the front page, the first page as well too. It's got Beetle, it's got the wacky dinosaur kind of looking in through the eye of the bug, and I think just reading the story, I'd be like, oh yeah, I know what's going on in the story, and it's a good one.
Heck yeah.
Definitely some good artwork in this one. All right, well, let's go ahead and find out, since we keep talking about this time frame of 1988, of March of 1988, because we're going by the cover date. What memories come back to you for this one? From March of 1988. Where were you? What were you doing? What's happening? And we will go to Delvin.
Jeez, 88. Oh, almost 11 years old. I don't have any story or anything. I think being almost 11 years old, that means I'm about to get out of elementary school. It's like fifth to sixth grade there time frame. Oof. All right, yeah. So I went to a kind of pretty cool elementary school. It's called Epic. And like the whole idea of it was like the quote unquote talented and gifted kids all went there. So the thing that I think I most appreciate about going to a school like that is that um, there clearly would have been nothing wrong with going to, your public school or your neighborhood school, because I eventually went to my neighborhood high school. But going to a school like that, I got to see people from the different sides of town, not just white, but like Hispanic and different races and everything. So I kind of got a more worldly view as a kid. And now as an adult, I kind of see the benefit in having that, and just growing up and just understanding that a lot of us we have similar upbringings, and especially as children act nearly identical in how we're brought up and stuff like that. So and the interesting thing about that is, while we haven't had a reunion or whatever for Epic Elementary School, I would do that in a heartbeat, and I would hug those folks that a few of them I'm friends with on Facebook, but I'd hug them like I just saw them yesterday. It would be great. And I don't feel that way about my high school for whatever reason. Like I don't dislike any of my high school partners or friends, and I still have friends from high school. But those elementary schools were very good formative times for me.
Yeah, I can definitely agree with you on that. Jason, what's your memory?
Well, in 1988, I was a junior in high school in Fulda, Germany, and really had just kind of gotten back into comics at that point. So I was reading the Dark Knight Returns and Ronin and a bunch of comics that a buddy of mine, a high school pal, gave me a box of comics. So I was weeding my way through those and really starting to get back into X-Men and some of those other books that I'd let go as I got a little bit older. And I was thinking I was getting more mature, and then I was like, nah, I ain't never gonna grow up. I'm going back to these comics, and I never left.
For me, boy, 1988, March of 1988. So if you were a junior, that would probably put me around just freshman year, like the second half of freshman year for me in 88. So, my voice was changing at the time, probably. I know for sure I was doing some DJing for the high school dances after the football game and basketball games. And just having some fun, hanging out with friends at the high school years. I was still collecting at the time too, with comics and all that too, playing video games and just having lots of fun.
Comic book wise speaking, I hadn't even gotten into mainstream Marvel universe yet. I was still only collecting Transformers at the time.
Okay. Yeah, probably my main one was still doing G.I. Joe, but I would ride my bike to a mall or to the mall or to a comic shop somewhere in town, because I didn't have a car yet. I didn't get my license yet. It wasn't cool. Jarrod, what were you doing back in 1988? Were you watching Jason go to school?
I joined a gang.
You did?
Yeah.
What were you called?
It's called the Losers. But anyway.
Losers.
No, Jason and I were both living in Fulda, and it's neat because being a military kid, I'm having all very similar experiences as Delvin, because in the military community is very, very blended. So I've got that more worldly look, and I live in Germany. So yeah, it's a great and exciting time for me. I don't think I've ever mentioned living in Germany on the show before, but I can remember picking this book up off the shelf at the Stars and Stripes bookstore. I can still remember how that smells. I could walk in that door right now and walk directly to where the comics are. I know where they're at. They're right next to the Playboys and the Penthouses, by the way.
One-stop shop, as we used to call it.
But yeah, this really just puts me in mind of maybe the most magical time of reading comics, because we've discovered the JLI, which is just mind-blowingly fascinating to me at this age, and still is. This is coming off of Crisis, so you've got the Booster Gold book to go with the Beetle book. Mr. Miracle's got his own book. It's just this real fertile ground for DC as they're relaunching, and just everything is so freaking good at this point. It's amazing. It's a ton of creativity, and yeah, that's what I'm going to remember.
It's interesting because as I think about it, this was around the launch of the new JLI, and
Just right, yeah.
and they were really pushing these characters like Booster Gold and Blue Beetle and Mr. Miracle. And I think of like on the opposite team with Avengers, how they've tried to push like Triathlon and all these other characters that just don't hit. This one really hit, man. They came up with some really good characters and nailed it out of the park.
It is weird to think about how much of it really stuck, because yeah, Blue Beetle and Booster and Firestorm got reignited at this, like, just in a lot of it stuck. That's a great point, Jason. Like, they do this a lot, big reboots. They throw a bunch of stuff and a few things stick. A lot stuck. That's a good point.
Yeah, especially when with Blue Beetle, they had just gotten the rights from Charlton. So now they have Beetle started this little series here, and now he becomes, like you said, a little bit bigger in the world of heroes in the DC, because this was just right at the end of Millennium, which then launches into the JLI series. So really cool to see these kind of beginnings of what we have here. All right. Well, with that, that's going to bring us to the end of this part of the show. You got a comment or a question, send us an email at contact@longboxcrusade.com, or make a comment on the Longbox Crusade X, Facebook, or Instagram, and also on YouTube at Longbox Crusade. Just find us all those places and leave us a comment. We will be right back.
What was the maxi series you said that rolled into this, Pat?
Millennium.
We've got stars directing our fate, and we'll pray. I gotta go to bed.
Mark Anthony. Well, Jason. Mark Anthony.
No, that's Robbie Williams.
Robbie Williams? Oh.
Yeah. Millennium.
All right. Well, thank you.
It samples
You only look and people got mad at it for some reason.
I didn't get mad at it. It was catchy as hell.
Love your dance moves.
Thank you.
You got good
There's only so much I can do with this tiny.
Use all the space you got. You got to use it all up. All right. Well, let's get to the next segment. Welcome back from the break. Let's continue on with the show. Now it's time to scan through the featured issue of Blue Beetle number 22 from March 1988 for the top ads that stood out to us in a segment called Add It Up.
Yeah. Add it up. Add it up. Add it up. See what you got. You got to add it up. Add it up. Okay.
Okay. Here are the ads that stood out to us in this issue, and we will go to Jason. What's an ad that you found interesting in this issue?
For the art, I really like that Checkmate ad, the house ad there. I thought that looks really cool, and it reminds me we did an issue of Checkmate. I believe we did it for a Crusade miss.
Yes, we did
a year or two back, and I remember enjoying that issue. And this ad helped sell it.
It did. This was a really cool ad, and the team was really cool as well too. So it's one of those B-C listing kind of a team, but had some really great stories in it, and just a kind of cool team of guys that had some powers. I don't think they all had, like, they were just like guys that were skilled.
Yeah, that's a cool book.
It really was. Yeah.
Jarrod, what is your choice for ad?
I'm going to pick Captain Power. What a cool toy that you can interact with your television. I think you could get the Captain Power video cassettes, and it was really neat how the toy would interact with the light up stuff on the TV. and my buddy next door had one, had Captain Power. You know, we weren't a wealthy household like some people who collected Transformers. We had to.
We collected Transformers, but ours were the kind of things that converted 220 to one thing.
Yeah, literal electricity transformers that you need to plug your stuff in Germany. But no, my buddy next door had Captain Power, which I didn't have, but I just thought it was so cool to play with that, because you shoot the screen and there'd be like flying scenes, and if the enemy hit you too many times, Captain Power would pop out of the cockpit. It was so cool. It was a really neat concept that I think is still neat to this day. A toy that a physical toy you can interact with the TV show is just a great concept, even to this day.
I remember thinking it really looked cool in the ads, but I don't think I ever saw it get played, you know, even though I was apparently in a very rich household.
Yes.
You know, speaking about being rich, I had this when I was a kid. So I had one of these, and you would do it, and it was pretty cool and fun to do when you did, you know, aim it at the TV. Just, that picture too of that kind of a gargoyle-ish thing kind of coming out of the TV like that. I remember seeing that on the screen, and you would just pew 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 at it. Oh, fun!
I picked up some Captain Power comics that I didn't know existed, and they're by a famous artist too. I want to say Neil Adams.
We lose Jarrod?
Everybody all right? Okay, I thought maybe Kronos got us and did something to us.
Kronos got Jarrod.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys can hear me, but
we can hear you now, but we lost you.
Yeah, my internet keeps dropping in and out. Something must be going on with the connection tonight.
Did you want to finish?
Nah, screw it.
Okay.
Those Captain Power comics, I think you got them here when you visited me last time.
Yeah,
you left them behind. Yeah, I got them around here somewhere.
Oh, so you have them? Okay, yeah. I think they're Neil Adams. They're very cool.
Yep.
Delvin, what's an ad that you found interesting?
Well, the one I found interesting is the MPC, the car model ads. Like, build a reputation, you know, like, and their model cars. Like, I don't know if you guys know this or not, but like, I am pretty big into models. You know, I take the models and get them out of the box.
Yeah.
Paint them with immaculate detail.
You do a great job, Delvin. I've been there. I've seen it in your office area there.
You know, I appreciate that, you know, like years ago, like probably like 10, 11 years later after this point, you know, I think Jason got me like a Spider-Man one, and I did, you know, I within days just broke out the paints, put it all together, you know, presto changeo, like flip, Spider-Man. So yeah.
Just the detail you put into that the time that you take to do all that.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
I love building models as a child.
It was at least hip deep up in here, so I'm just gonna go ahead and stop while I'm ahead.
I mean, this as why wouldn't you? I mean, just think of with the models that you were creating, and that just the ladies that would kind of come around you like that.
Right. You know, like I imagine, you know, with the ad that Jarrod had, you know, instead of you know, Captain Power, it was Major Williams, and it's just, I'll save you. Please take the microphone away from me.
We have people in the chat that are confused. Just the short version, I bought Delvin a really cool Spider-Man model kit when we graduated college, and it's still in the shrink wrap at his house to this day. He has never cracked it open and built it.
Don't give me no models. you already know what I'm gonna do. I'm not gonna do the model. Like I just
we've seen it move from one house to another.
Yeah, I've seen it go to like 4 or 5 houses.
I have kept that model like for 20 some odd years. Not painted, still kept it.
I know the one that you're speaking of because you got me the Wolverine
model
of the same one. You got Delvin Spider-Man and you got me Wolverine. And that was like back when I was still in the Army in Atlanta, I think.
Yep.
I was a young man.
Oh yeah, the bits and bits that we got here going on. Oh. Well, I am going to choose for my ad is the Sega Master System. Man, what a cool video game system this was. You know, this was coming out right after the Nintendo was out. Sega's step into the ring, so to say, with the Sega Master System. And looking at those cartridges covers, I remember that checkerdiness of those covers.
Yes.
Oh, it just takes me back to being like at a Sears, and they would put the games behind the counter, the little glass boxes that you could go and see and look at. They may have had one kind of on an aisle uncap or whatever, where we could go and kind of actually play the game for a little bit. Oh,
You know the crazy thing? Nobody in my neighborhood had a Sega. Like one of my classmates, Rufus Burgess, had a Sega, and I remember playing it over at his house. What? Some jungle game. Oh, geez, what was it called? It's
Jungle
been
Hunt?
too long. Maybe it has been so long, and somehow I eventually wound up playing Sonic and everything that was on Sega, which was a ton of fun. Probably about college time frame, but like I did not grow up playing Sega. I grew up like I was like me and the neighborhood. We were Nintendo boys and girls.
Same. I didn't know anybody that had a Sega. Well, once the Genesis showed up. But
yeah, I was gonna say Genesis.
Yeah, I got the
I've
Genesis.
A little different.
never seen anybody rocking a Master System in my childhood.
Yeah,
See some Ghostbusters in there.
yeah.
don't you?
I see some cool games.
Yeah, that
Outrun
game is
and
not good.
Choplifter. I like the Choplifter. That was a pretty fun game.
Yeah, I mean, there's some decent stuff in there. I've since, acquired one at a yard sale and plenty of neat games and stuff for it. But yeah, I never saw one as a kid. Everybody I knew had a Nintendo.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've only remember seeing it at the Sears at our local mall. Lots of fun. Good fun, though. All right, well, with the ads out of the way, let's go ahead and move on to sorry. The next segment called Way Back in Time.
Here we observe Pat wisely dying on mute.
I'm a professional. If you're going to die on the mute.
Die on mute. Yeah.
That's code. That's podcaster code. That's what you do. March 1988. Let's get some history points or news.
Pat.
What? Oh, yeah.
So take me away. I don't mind, but you gotta promise me I'll be back in time. All right, you're good to go. Gotta be back in time.
Is this the future? Or 1988?
I know all the songs. I'm skipping ahead, but I know all the songs.
All I want to do is. All right. Anyway, here we go. Let's go ahead and talk about some major news happening at this time of March 1988, and we'll go to Jarrod. Pick one from this time.
I'm going to pick the obvious formatting error on March 14th. The American basketball guard who had an NBA career 3-point record holder, NBA MVP, and from 2015 to 16, Golden State Warriors, was born in Akron, but it doesn't say who it was. So I guess it's more of a trivia question at this point, given those facts.
Steph Curry.
Okay, so Steph Curry was born on
yes.
March 14th, 1988. I saw it days ago in the thing, and I was like, who is this? And now we know. All right, now let me.
We're all not professional podcast script creators like you are, Jarrod. Sometimes my copy doesn't paste. Okay? Sometimes I can't paste my copy.
I understand.
You just can't paste
I'll
a
move
copy.
on. I'll move on.
And my select isn't that good either.
I'll go simply with March 1st. The first day of March, Pontiac announced the end of the Fiero automobile. Fiero was a neat little car. I drove a Fiat, which was very similar. It's a 2-seater sports car, mid-mount engine.
It's white trash Ferrari is what it is, man.
And there's Jason.
I
still
wanted
the
one.
Fear.
I
like the
wanted
Fear.
one.
The little cars or cute little cars. Me. And, oh man. Pontiac Fiero. Wow. Jarrod or Jason, what's your major news for March?
I guess I'll just go down the list. And on March 2nd, it was the 30th Grammy Awards. The record of the year was Paul Simon's Graceland. And the album of the year was U2's The Joshua Tree. Jody Watley was the best new artist. I picked this one because I played the heck out of Joshua Tree. That was a good album.
Still
That was a
good,
good
yeah.
album. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I just picked up Graceland at Goodwill last week. Another good listen.
Yeah, I remember Mom had that one, and we listened to it a bit.
That really is a good album, and I'm trying to listen to other CDs, but I just still couldn't find what I was looking for.
So you're looking for a new love, Pat? A new love?
You know it, baby.
And he's loving every minute of it.
I worked in Jody Watley. I worked it all. We've done them all now.
I know. I just wanted to keep the bit going.
Delvin, what is your news story?
I bet you know which one I'm gonna pick. I bet you know.
May 27th.
March 27th.
Oh, March. Yeah.
Was WrestleMania 4. It was at the historic Atlantic City Convention Hall in New Jersey. Randy Macho Man Savage beats Ted DiBiase for the WWF Heavyweight title. Ted DiBiase was his tagline was everybody has a price. He was the $1 Million Man.
$1 Million Man. Knew that much.
Man, yeah. Oh yeah, Macho Man.
I'm gonna interject here and just say that I recently found WrestleMania 3 like on DVD, like the whole thing. And I put it on my Plex and I was like, let me just watch this, It might be the most entertaining thing I've ever seen. It was so good. It was so good. I was like, I think I even texted Delvin. This is about a year or so ago. I texted Delvin. I was like, we should do a podcast on WrestleMania.
We should watch a show. We should watch a WrestleMania.
So
ooh, that's what we could do. We could do
the spectacle that they put into these things, man. And like, there is a reason that, we're all men of a certain age. And like all of those wrestlers from our childhood, or a lot of them, like all you have to do is mention a name. You're like, oh, I remember him. Like the personalities that they developed are so like larger than life that they still transcend to this day. That's incredible.
It goes back to something you said on an earlier show, not this one, of a recording we did within the last couple of weeks. You mentioned, and I wholeheartedly agree, kids of the 80s, we all watch the same stuff at the same time. We had this unity. There's not a million different streaming services or YouTubes or all this. It's just,
when this
is what we watched and this is what we talked about. It didn't matter where you came from, not one bit. It was everybody watched the same stuff.
Yep.
Oh yeah, this was WrestleMania too. Was the big thing, it was the big events. It was the Super Bowl. It felt like
we were in Germany, so we had to wait for the VHS.
Yeah. And you know what? We're speaking about wrestling, and I was this year old that I found out that in the WWF wrestling cartoon back then that they had, it had Hulk Hogan and all these people.
Yeah.
The voice of Hulk Hogan was Brad Garrett. You know who Brad Garrett? Raymond's brother. Yeah, he was the voice because he did a lot of voice acting early in his earlier career, and he was the voice of Hulk Hogan in that. That blew me away. I'm like,
that's crazy. I almost forgot about the cartoon until you just.
I know. I do. I remember seeing it.
Oh, we used to watch that cartoon quite a bit.
It was good.
Heck yeah,
it was fun. All right. Well, I'll finish up the news. And on March 21st, the 23rd Academy of Country Music Awards was. And the winners were Hank Williams Jr., Randy Travis, and Reba McEntire were big winners from that year. And you know what? I got some love for Randy Travis. I like Randy Travis. Hank Williams Jr. too. Yeah, I got some country roots because I want to love Randy Travis forever and ever.
Amen.
Yep. Amen.
Reba McEntire had I Can't Make You Love Me, right? No, it's Bonnie Raitt. It's
That was
Bonnie Raitt.
Bonnie
Bonnie
Raitt,
Raitt.
yeah.
Prince did a remake of it on his Emancipation 3-disc CD set and was really good.
All right, well, let's go into the top 3 movies for March, and we will start them off. We'll start with Delvin. We'll go clockwise that way.
Hold on, let me get the script. Number 3. Okay, the number 3 movie for March 1988, raking in a little over $51.5 million, is Biloxi Blues, a comedy that had Matthew Broderick in it, I believe, right?
Oh, it
did,
had a
yeah.
couple of people in it, Delvin. Matthew Broderick was
wonder
one of
who.
them.
He was low on the list.
You know who else was in it? Somehow I turned into Harry Carey in that.
Take me out to the ball.
Oh, how does
Yeah,
a
Christopher
Dominican
Walken plays
lose
the
it in
drill
the
sergeant.
sun?
He's amazing.
That was my favorite Harry Carey moment. Anyway, rest in peace, Harry Carey.
I don't think I've ever seen Biloxi Blues.
That's good.
at
Yeah,
all.
it's good. Yeah.
One of those Neil Simon movies. It's good stuff.
Well, I'll take it from here. Coming in at number 2, this is my favorite on the list, is Beetlejuice, and it broke in at about 75 million. That's some cool cash.
And this befuddles the crap out of me because coming at number 1 is a movie I've never heard of. How it defeated Beetlejuice, I'll never know. It's a movie called Masquerade, and it made $91.5 million. And I had to Google it before we recorded it. And I was like, what?
They aren't about to make a Masquerade 2.
No.
Like they're about to do with Beetlejuice.
Yeah, I was going to say Beetlejuice is coming back.
Like Beetlejuice was everywhere in 88, right? Which rolled nicely into Keaton in 89 for Batman.
Mhm.
When I saw this in the script, I was like, what? I've never heard. I think I had Rob Lowe when I looked it up, and I was just like, I've never heard of this. How did it make so much money? I don't.
Yeah.
Is this a typo? Is this a formatting typo?
No, it's not a formatting typo.
All right, everybody calm down. But anyway, I got nothing. I kind of want to see it. It apparently did really well. You know, I like thriller suspense movies. I'm okay with Rob Lowe. I guess I can't see it.
It's hidden. It's a Masquerade.
Jason,
You're never
you
gonna
were
know.
a little older than me. Do you remember this coming out?
I don't. I'm looking at I'm watching the little trailer on IMDb right now, and it is ringing 0.0 bells.
You know, and you got to remember too, Jason and I don't know if I mentioned this, we lived in Germany, which was near the Swiss Alps. Anyway, we lived in Germany where we would get like one movie and it would run for, if it was really good, maybe 2-3 weeks, but we get them one at a time. So I could see how we would miss it.
I think Batman Returns is just showing up there now. So,
right. And it was very behind. Like we didn't get the cutting edge.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and move on to the top 3 songs according to Billboard for this time. And I'll do number
Jason's
3.
Got to be so excited right now.
I'm trying to mute myself. I'm not going to be able to do it.
And I'll go ahead and start us off with number 3. Number 3 is She's Like the Wind.
Just a fool to believe.
Just a fool to believe.
She's like the wind. She's like the wind.
That was the time where you would get these actors and they're like, you know what? I'm going to come up with songs too. And in general, that seems like a terrible idea, right?
Mm-hmm.
But this song was amazing.
Yeah, he did good. He did good.
He did. Yeah. He killed it. This is Patrick Swayze. This is an absolutely amazing song.
Yeah. Still playable and listenable and just to this year.
Somebody close to me. I can't look in her eyes. Yes.
I believe he's like the wind.
Yes.
Like the wind.
We
All
gotta
the
go on.
access.
All the access.
We might get stuck on this one. I'm going to move us on to a absolute classic song that finished number 2, but number 1 in many, many people's hearts. Never Gonna Give You Up by Rick Astley.
He's never going to let you down.
Never gonna run around and hurt you.
Since it's become a thing, the Rickroll people.
Yep, it's still a thing. You can still Rickroll somebody, and you will get laughs from it.
Never gonna give.
He must have really loved the girl he was singing that song about.
Jason,
Speaking of which,
oh, is it me?
It is you.
Get number 1, buddy.
Why did I get number 1? Well, okay, well, I'll take it. Number 1 is Father Figure by George Michael. I won't be your father figure. Put your loving hand in mine. I won't be your creature.
Anything you had in mind. Song's a banger.
That's all I wanted.
The to be one. Now I gotta listen to it after.
Yeah, I do too.
I know. I'm sparing you all right now. You know my love for George Michael is up
Oh yeah. Yes.
Man. I remember when it was uncool to like him. He's let's say a flamboyant gentleman, right? He's not cool for that, right? And I was in college, and I believe I was talking to Delvin. He probably remember this. He's like, man, screw that. If you like it, you like it. And I was, because we were the CD store, and I was like, I'm buying this 2 discs. I don't care what people say.
Oh man, I'll tell you what flipped me was when Freddie died, and they did the tribute. And
that was good.
He did Somebody to Love. I was like,
he's got a good voice. Michael's got
I
a
was
good
really
voice.
hoping that he would actually become the front man of Queen.
I was too after that, because I listened to everybody else. I was like, yeah. And then I was like, he did that as well as Freddie.
Man, just that whole double disc CD, man. I listened to it, I don't know, 6.2 million times. I don't know what the math is.
Close. Pretty close.
Yeah,
definitely. Well, there's some really good songs there. And I can remember, again, this is the time when I'm spinning them at a high school dance, and everybody kind of, getting that. Let's get,
I think that you never understand me.
Oh, man. Fun times. Well, that'll bring us to the end of this part of the show. You got a comment or a question, let us know by sending us some feedback. And speaking about some feedback, we're going to get into Crusader comments. But before we do, we are thrilled to kick off these comments with special shout outs to our Crusader Club members. These are the fine folks that have joined our crusade. They enjoy priority seating as podcast guests, early access to special Longbox episodes, just like this that we're doing right now. Voting to help determine show content, backstage access to live recordings such as this, and so much more. So these are the folks reaping the benefits and giving some much appreciated support to the show.
I will start. I know we go clockwise. Kathy likes Adam Lambert, by the way, for Queen. Just wanted to let you guys know that. Yeah, you can boo or hiss at her later. Alan W. Wright.
And Helica Wolf.
Ow. Ow. Auburn Elvis.
Bill Beer.
Bradley DeLoe. Welcome.
Braxton Underwood.
Clinton Robinson.
Captain Entropy.
Clark Westfield.
Dave Collins, Battle Wagon.
Eric Hodges.
Eric Porter.
Ezra Gallo.
Gary V.
Gene Hendricks.
I got skipped.
Sorry.
That's all right. I'll pick up Joe Green. Gerald Green, who I think of as a father figure.
Heinz Cook joining us in the chat tonight. Thank you for joining us, Heinz.
Jason Keene.
Jason Lady.
Jeff Polier.
Jeremy L.
Jim Jarman, Jim Jarman, Jim Jarman, Jim Jarman. I hope you like Jim Jarman too.
That's nice. Jim Meal, who I think popped by the secret chat tonight.
Joe Thomas.
John Watson.
Josh Strickland.
Candace Ward.
Kathy Bright, the MVP in the chat.
Matt and Lissy Paso. Thanks for joining us, Matt.
Mark Ross.
Maxwell Treva.
Michael Minton.
Miranda W.
P.D. Devons.
Paul Hicks, who I encourage to put his tiny hand in mine.
Rick from Jeff and Rick Present.
Rob Morgan.
Samantha Maney.
Sean Urbanski.
Spidey 67.
Spreadsheet.
Steve Cronin. If you're still around, thanks for joining us. Thanks for stopping by.
Tim Price.
Tony Pennington.
And Toronto Cop.
If we missed anyone on the list, we do apologize. Just please just keep remember, we're never going to give you up. We're never going to let you down. We're never going to let you run around, and we're never going to desert you. But if we do, just keep in mind that we record these episodes well in advance, and we will get your name added as soon as we can. We should be, but still, don't worry about it. We'll just let us know that we missed you by sending an email to contact@longboxcrusade.com, and we will get it all straightened out. As a reminder, you can become a Crusaders Club member by heading on over to patreon.com and looking up Longbox Crusade. For as little as $1 a month, you'll get access to the amazing world of the Crusaders Club. You come and check it out, We would really appreciate it. And we really do appreciate all the support that we get these 8 years that we have been doing this. So, woo! Fun.
Woo!
Don't have any extra scratch lying around. Still want to help us out here at LBC Crew at the LBC headquarters? Please take a moment to write a review or on whatever platform you're listening to. Give us a like, a share, a retweet. We would appreciate all of that. It helps it go a long way in showing your support and helping others discover the show. Speaking about discovering and helping and liking and sharing, let's go ahead and get to some feedback from from Longbox Crusade, episode 43, where we covered Kickers Inc., number 7 from May of 1987.
There is an
I got one here from Jason B. Covering.
This part's
This
not
was a
filled
really
out.
good episode. Weasel Skull's the best.
Well, you know what? I think I forgot to add all that crap. Oh, man.
And there was a lot of discussion about New Universe. I mean, a lot.
Yeah. Oh, man, I feel bad. I thought he'd fill this out. Oh, shoot. My bad.
You can do a second take and just say, due to technical difficulties, we don't have feedback. We'll get you next time.
Yep.
Yeah. I thought I figured this. Oh, man. I must have. This probably came out before it was even released. Or the script. Shoot.
Oh, yeah. You might have written this months ago.
That was the problem. Yeah. And I'm like, oh, I got that. Look at me. I'm ahead of the game.
Oh, I'm ahead of the game. Don't worry. Happened to me today, too, Pat.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So, all right. We'll have to come back to it next time. Well, due to unfortunate stupidity on my part, I forgot to grab the like, shares, and retweets. I do apologize for that. We will get around to them coming up on the next show. But with that, don't forget to give some likes, shares, and retweets as much as you can, and comment anywhere that you can, and that would be very helpful to us.
We look forward to ignoring all those on it.
Oh. All right. Well, with that, don't forget also, you can call us and leave us a voicemail that we will play later on in the show, like right here. Leave us a voice message at 707-532-5269. That's 707-532-LBOX.
Pick up the phone. You know, it's the one guaranteed way. It's the one guaranteed way to make sure we don't have one of these mess ups. If you left a voicemail, it's getting played.
Yeah, it's getting played.
We accidentally made a mess up on this and didn't have the comments. But if you leave a voicemail, it's making.
We have that flashing red light, like the president does, as the direct line to Moscow.
You got that right.
We just wait for that to blink.
Thanks for everyone for the likes, shares, and follows. As always, we appreciate your friendship and help in spreading the word about this podcast. And that's the show. Be sure to check out the website, longboxcrusade.com, where posts will be made for journaling this crusade. And you can go and listen to all the way back 8 years ago to the first episode of where it's just me talking into a microphone. I felt so lonely and afraid.
Silly Spidey stories.
Silly Spidey stories.
Something like that.
Good one, Pat. Good one. I want to thank Jarrod, Jason, and Delvin for joining me on this episode, and all the super secrets people in the chat. We do appreciate. But before we go, let's find out where the listeners can find us on the internet. Jason.
You can find me at Jason Albrecht on Threads and on Instagram.
Delvin.
You can find me at fatherfigure.com. I'll be your daddy. Okay, you can. DEE_RAY1977 on Twitter. Delvin Array on Instagram.
Jarrod.
I am at Yard Sale Artist on X and Facebook and Instagram. You can find my artwares at www.theyardsaleartist.com. And if you're looking for me in real life, I will be at Taco Bell till the end of time.
Hold on. I got Frankie calling. I gotta take this.
Well, bye.
Oh, I thought he was doing a bit.
No, it's our cousin calling him. He doesn't have another line in the show, so we're okay.
Okay, I'm like, oh, okay, Frankie. Because he was saying Frankie before about.
Don't get confused. It's our cousin calling.
Okay. And you can find me on the Twitter at Christatos01. Thank you all for listening, and we hope you have enjoyed this episode of the Longbox Crusade. Got a comment or a question? Email us at contact@longboxcrusade.com or leave a comment on the Longbox Crusade Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter X page, all at Longbox Crusade. Until next time, take care, and please join us on the next episode as we continue on the Crusade 2.
Read them all.
Ooh, and we out.
I'll be your. Yeah, I'm absolutely listening.
That's
So
such a banger.
I learned. We're still kind of learning how to sing "Broken Wings" by Mr.
From the last script,
Mr.
It just hit my head right, man, and just like that one. And hold on, what's the other one? I can't believe it. That and Everybody Wants to Rule the World.
That's a good one.
That's a good jam.
I saw it come up in the chat by I think Auburn Elvis. I've spent a long time working on what's that Chris Isaac song?
Wicked Game.
Yeah.
What a wicked.
I spent a lot of time being able to hit and hold that last note, and
that last note.
I don't know if I can do it right now, but back about 2 or 3 years ago, I could.
I have done Wicked Game in karaoke.
Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know we had
man. From years ago, when I was in San Antonio, one of my friends there was I go do karaoke all the time, and the karaoke jockey, his name was Leo. Like he would give me homework, And one of the songs that he gave me like to learn how to sing was Wicked Game.
Yeah, it's a classic.
Oh yeah, that's a great song. It's yeah. The world was on fire, no one could save me. But yeah, I'm not gonna start.
Strange world desire. Make people do. I never dreamed that I might. Okay. Oh, I got to get rid of this banner thing, though. All right. Well, thank you guys for joining us in the chat. Where is it?
Yes, indeed.
Be back. Got to walk for 1 minute so I can get 12 hours, brother. It's super important.
All right.
Got a what?
Just got to walk.
All right. Well, bye.
Jason's on a call.
Jason's on a phone call. Delvin's got to walk.
All right. Welcome to behind the scenes. All the access you want, you're going to get it here on LBC. So thank you again for everybody for joining us in the chat. We appreciate it. Really cool to see just you guys chatting it up in the chat. So we love the chat. All right.
We do.
Anybody have anything else, or should we hit?
I think we're good. Thanks, chat folks. Thank you for joining us tonight. Look forward to seeing you. We have another live stream on Sunday.
Yes, we do. We do have a live stream coming up on Sunday.
Sunday at 3:30 Central. I think that's the one I accidentally advertised today, isn't it? It's the Amazing Spider-Man Chronicles.
Amazing Spider-Man, yep. All right. See you guys later. Bye.